Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I am also known as the Taropist, and I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we are going to do a full-sized love reading today for the collective. This can resonate for any placement of any zodiac sign at any time, anywhere from single to married, and anywhere in between, just whomever you have on that beautiful mind of yours. We are going to look into the energy that you bring to the connection that you have on your mind in the first column, the energy that the person that you have on your mind brings in the second column. And because I am just picking up on energy, you can always reverse those two roles. And then we will get a third column with a potential outcome. And again, because I am just picking up on energy, the outcomes are always only potential, and any actions that you would take in your physical reality are ultimately going to shape your physical reality. What does that mean? Basically, just because these energies are available to you does not make them guaranteed. You will have to take any proper or necessary action in your physical reality to make that a reality for you. Okay. And I think that's about it for the structure of the reading, guys. Again, I am the Taropist, and anything you would ever need to know about myself or the channel, you can find in the description box below, the channel description, or my community tab. You can certainly always check out my website, which is www.thetaropist.com. I am currently closed for Zoom and FaceTime readings. However, I am still available for pre-recorded and email readings, and all of that information is in the description box below. Obviously, when I channel energy here, and I use the tarot to help me channel the energy that is coming through. So the most powerful way for me to pick up on your personal energy is obviously by you purchasing a personal reading. If for any reason you are unable to or uninterested in a personal reading, but you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your personal energy in these collective readings, then do make sure that you are engaging with the channel in as many ways as possible. And this will help you to transfer your energy here to myself on the channel and into the readings. Some easy ways that you can do that are by liking, sharing, or commenting on any of the videos or community tab posts. And guys, my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for me to pick up on your personal energy in my collective readings is by clicking the subscribe button below. If you are going to subscribe to the channel and you'd like to be notified when I do upload or go live in the future, make sure that you have your little bell notification icon set to all. Okay, guys, let's get rocking. So we're going to start out with these dream guidance love messages here. It's just an oracle deck, and it gives me kind of like the energy of the thoughts of the two people, and we'll kind of like sort out whose thoughts they are during the, when I get the actual tarot. Okay. I got my eyes on you. Okay. Well, somebody has an eye on you, that's for sure. Or vice versa. You could have your eye on somebody. I got my eyes on you. It says, it is a life lesson for both of us. And already I'm feeling a very magnetic draw. It could be mutual. It could be one of you. You are important to me. It does feel genuine, by the way. I got my eyes on you. I'll try to link that song if I can. That's all that's coming through on that song. But I will try to link, or I'll link that in the description box or the pinned comment below if I can think of who that is or what that song is. Okay. Or you're welcome to link it in the comment section below if you know what song it is. Are you happy without me? Oh, because actually it feels, well, it just feels, yeah, somebody's got an eye on you, because I think there isn't, this connection hasn't come in yet, or it's in separation, and we're going to find out more. Hard to let you go. Hard to let go of you is actually what it says there. So I still don't know if there was an actual relationship, by the way. I am always, or I am working on myself. Okay. Well, let's see what we get from the tarot. Because there is just like a really it's like the energy is kind of like low, slow, and sad. We're going to start out with these Light Seers tarot, and then on the bottom of that deck, but it's like that song. I got my eyes on you. Somebody has their eye on the other here. Maybe you both have an eye on each other. But certainly it does feel like you have the Six of Pentacles in your energy, and the Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity, or reciprocity. Kind of what you give is what you get is the energy that I'm getting right now on it. And what you put out into the universe is what you'll receive back. Not necessarily, I want to say, by the way, there is like this karma or a need to learn lessons, but this is more of like what it's like, I want to say what some people call karma, but this is just the law of attraction. Actually, this is just about what you give is what you get. And this is the Fool card in your person's energy here. Of course, you can always reverse these roles. This does represent Uranus, or the sign of Aquarius, and it talks about what am I getting here? It's like, of course, we always talk about a new beginning and a fresh start and stuff like that with the Fool card here, but actually more, it's coming through a little different, or a little like new wave or new age or something like that. I don't know what this is. It just feels really like a new way of doing things. Okay, new wave, a new way of doing things. We're gonna get a potential outcome, and then we'll get an overarching energy, and then we'll clarify everything to get more of a full, complete picture and story. And you could certainly be dealing with an Aquarius, now a Pisces, or a Cancerian. Two major arcana in the first three cards. The potential outcome is a major arcana, and it is the Moon card. The Moon card does represent our subconscious. Could represent like subconscious fears, intuition, and our emotions. So the moon is connected to the water, as you can see here, connected to all of the water signs. It could even be, Scorpio as well then. But the moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. So the luminary, the moon, actually rules over one sign only, and that is the sign of Cancer. But this card, even though it is the moon card, represents a totally different planet, or a planet actually, which is the planet Neptune. So the sign of Pisces, but it could also represent any of the water signs, Cancer or Scorpio as well. And deep emotion is what I'm getting there. Two of Wands in the overarching energy, which is about like a crossroads or a need to take action or make a decision and stick to it, is kind of the energy that I'm getting with it right now. Like, I'm getting indecision on it, and I don't even know if that's exactly, usually I get that on the Two of Swords, but this is the Two of Wands here. And it's like two people that are, I want to say, by the way, it's like your hearts already know, but your physical reality isn't allowing the action to be taken or something. I got my eyes on you. Yeah, it's like all we can do is watch each other. There's no physical action that has been taken yet. By the way, it's we're not ever stuck. So it is a choice to maybe guard our heart or protect ourselves from rejection or something like that. But there is like an underlying need to take action. Let me find out more. Because it is saying something about a deep, like subconscious, I want to say an abandonment wound that is kind of guiding this connection or lack thereof. I mean, there is no like real physical connection at this time, it feels like. Are you happy without me? Hard to let go of you. And what it feels like is a spark was ignited, or the connection came in for a moment, and there was, again, no real action taken. Like two parties that could feel the connection in the depths of their soul, but there either connections in the way, or just ego or fear, or it does feel like some subconscious fears of abandonment or rejection. So the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of action. Actually, it does talk about inspiration, certainly. And it is like a quick moving energy. It could be like a quick and successful conclusion to a very confusing situation. But by the way, it's saying that is going to rely on your clear communication with that. Meaning, I don't want to say, because I don't think that this kind of connection should be brought back together by way of text messaging. Okay. But it is saying that this might be the way that you have to kind of break this silence. There seems to be a silence. And the longer there's a silence, the harder it's going to be to break the silence or something like that. And then they're saying something about you would be surprised with the how receptive this person would be to your communication because of some new, I want to say, way of being. Okay. I'm not going to take all those cards. I did like a whole pile fell off, but I'm just going to try to get one card at a time here. King of Swords. So Aquarius is very strong in this connection now, or in this energy. So we have 2 Aquarian cards. This is the King of Swords. The King of Swords, again, what I was just saying to you, is a card of like, I want to say cut and dry, clear communication, no emotions attached to this communication. Well, that's what they're saying, is that there might be a need for you to communicate clearly without attaching any emotions to it, even though I think these, whatever this is, has stirred up deep emotions within the both of you. So it's like, what does this mean? It's like there's a fear of rejection, and it could be both of you having this, but certainly it's saying if you try to protect yourself from the rejection when you communicate, you're going to throw off the whole communication. Okay, the communication needs to be done clearly. I hope that makes sense. Devil card. Capricorn energy. And it does talk about this, the ego, your ego telling you that this communication, again, it's like this little monster telling you, by the way, the devil isn't a real beast. So there is no energetic devil out there. There's no red horned beast out there. The devil is the doubts, fears, worries we tell ourselves that stop us from doing the things that we are meant to do, that would cause us to have a great life in this lifetime. And this can come by way of addictions. This can come by way of even overworking, overindulging in anything. But the overindulgence isn't usually out of a greedy need for that thing. It's usually out of a terrified fear of feeling everything deeply or felt fully or something like that. It's an escape is what that is. And I'm afraid that you're using something, it could be drugs, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever you want to say, to avoid the communication, the clear communication that's needed between the two of you. And by the way, it feels like you're telling yourself it's because this person isn't interested in you. I even want to say this, and you think you've communicated your feelings to this person, but you have not. You've thought about them, you've talked to them, you've talked to this person, you've thought about your feelings, but you've never done the same, you've never actually communicated what you felt. You again, there's like this, they keep like telling me you went around in circles, or you talked in circles, or you avoided the real topic or the real feelings, and you talked about something else with this person. By the way, this person has feelings for you. So I want to say that there seems to be a very genuine love connection here. And let me find out more, but it does feel like you're escaping the reality of this connection. And I don't know exactly, again, however you're doing that, this could be just by avoiding the communication altogether or trying to communicate with this person. By the way, because the devil is there, it feels like you might think you're obsessed with somebody, but the obsession actually is your own spirit pressing you to communicate clearly with this person. But you think you just can't get this person off your mind or stop watching this person or something like that. And the reality, and you feel obsessed, but the reality of an obsession is an uncommunicated feeling. It's like, so when we try to suppress our own emotions, they become the devil in some way. And so it can take form in the form of like an obsession with somebody, because again, we're too afraid of rejection to communicate how we really feel. By the way, as soon as we communicate how we really feel, this obsession goes away. It literally releases that suppressed energy. So an obsession is simply a repressed emotion that needed to be communicated in our spirit, forcing us, or our body or our nervous system, and whatever you want to call it, trying to force us to communicate whatever this is. Okay. This emotion that you have for this person, this passion, by the way, the feeling is mutual. And I want to say this person feels like, what's this 9 of Wands energy? The wounded healer or the wounded warrior is actually, I feel like they feel like they've been at battle with you instead. Like, I feel like you maybe even try to correct things that they say or continuously nitpick on things. And it's, by the way, it's not because you disagree with the things that they're saying. It's because you think that they don't like you or something like that. And it's not true. The person does seem to be very interested in, even maybe in love with you. I'm not sure how deep this connection ever really was, but they seem to have a genuine emotional connection to you, and passionate as well. It feels like a very well-rounded feeling that they have for you, but they feel like they're fighting you or like you're fighting them instead of, yeah, the way that you're tiptoeing around your feelings or not acknowledging them at all, actually, is what they're saying here, is making them feel attacked by you rather than adored by you. And the truth is, you're attacking them because you adore them and you think you can't have them. I hope this makes sense for you. You can certainly always reverse these roles. I always want to make that very clear. The moon card, the justice card here, it's like as soon as you confront these deep-seated emotions that you have for this person, and not, by the way, not just internally with yourself, but they are saying that you might be actually trying to avoid acknowledging that with yourself as well. But once you can admit that to yourself, then there is a strong need for you to communicate that clearly with the awareness that just because you feel this way doesn't mean that the feeling is going to be mutual or reciprocated all the way. Want to nearly guarantee it is, even if it isn't, by the way. Your ability to communicate this clearly and get it out of your core is going to release you from the obsession of this person. Okay. Again, because they're either going to reciprocate these feelings or they're not. And this is going to be released either way. So when the obsession is released, it's because the emotion that you were trying to suppress is released. And if there is a true connection there, the emotions will just naturally come together. And if there's not, then you would naturally separate. I hope that makes sense for you. The moon card, the justice card. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I never say Scorpio on that energy, but there certainly could be a Scorpio involved here. Libra is also here. Aquarius, again, very strong. Capricorn. And wow, 3 major arcanas in the outcome here. Very powerful outcome, very spiritual. There's a lot of spiritual shifting happening here. And this connection, you are important to me. It is a life lesson for both of us. So regardless, by the way, this is a life lesson for the both of you. And regardless of if this connection ends up coming into fruition or not, it does feel like it could, by the way, or couldn't. But we did get the 3 of Swords in the very ultimate outcome here, which is a strong energy of 2 people that could literally live brokenhearted for the rest of their lives if they're unable to fight their ego's desire to run from something or rather than confronting it. I'm getting this very, pardon me for saying this, because I am a long, well-known liberal, and I am no longer, a part of the Democratic Party, or I no longer vote for the Democratic Party. But because of the way that what is happening here in this connection, is happening in the world. But it is when something triggers a wound of ours, we just run for the hills instead of confronting it or talking about it or communicating it through. When the communication and communicating it through is actually what releases us from the strength of the original emotion. So communication here, and it's saying if you isolate instead of communicating your feelings to this person, then ultimately it's going to lead to 2 people living. I want to say, please forgive me for this, because I know that people think we're all whole, and no, we're not. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I think we're meant to connect with another human being. I think on both an emotional, a spiritual, and a primitive level, we are all meant to connect with someone and procreate with that person. And again, the way that the modern world works, it's not necessarily so simple, but we still have an innate desire for this connection. On top of the primitive innate need for that connection to continue the species, we also have a very strong need to connect emotionally with that person and spiritually with that person. Okay. And so basically what it's saying here is that you're literally going to be roaming around. I've been roaming around. I don't know what song that is, but that's coming through for you. Kind of, I want to say half-heartedly. So nothing is going to feel full for the rest of your lives if you're unable to communicate. Put your egos aside and communicate clearly with one another here. And ultimately, it feels like, yeah, if you can't communicate the truth about your deep emotions for the other, which will lead to justice in any sense. So again, even if this isn't the person that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with, and there was another purpose behind this, which could just be you learning how to communicate and stop suppressing. And this is healing your fifth chakra. I want to say your solar plexus as well as your sacral chakra. You're clearing up a lot of wounded energy here so you can clear your auric field and become more attractive to everything, by the way, including abundance, finances, friendships, all different kinds of connections. Or if you're not looking for that, by the way, because I'm a very introverted person and I don't really care for all that, but some people do. So it's like if you're feeling like you can't connect with people, it's like there's this murky energy here that is being created by your own inability or unwillingness to communicate clearly about something that you truly feel. So it is you that is the real you, whatever this is that you're unwilling to communicate. And once you're able to communicate it, it will be released from this murky energy. And again, you'll become very attractive to all things abundance in general. But if you are unable to communicate that clearly, it's going to stay over you like a dark cloud for this isn't a threat, by the way. This is literally what the world is out here doing. And I want to say how people, and that little liberal comment I made earlier, but how there's all this kind of a rage out in the world right now. Well, they're trying to heal their throat chakras, a lot of suppressed emotions. And it's coming out in the form of rage all over the world. And of course, there's a better way for it to come out, and there's a better way to heal it. But for a large mass healing and collective healing, this is just kind of what it's going to look like. In this case, if you have any care or concern for this connection ever coming in, it's saying it's reliant on you putting whatever it is you're trying to suppress. Again, and acknowledging it to yourself, and then putting it out there for this person. And however you feel comfortable communicating with this person. I want to say again that they're saying that there needs to be like a text message or an email or something to initiate this communication. And then if you decide that you want to communicate it in person, then to make that, happen. But there needs to be like an initiation from you of communication. Okay. I hope that makes sense for you. And again, if we are unable to communicate clearly and we end up isolating from one another, or trying to isolate these particular emotions that we have for one another, then ultimately it will feel like the one that got away, or something that we never really, it's like, living with rejection is much easier than living with regret, or something like that is the energy that's coming through. I hope that makes sense for you guys. I am going to leave the reading there, and I wish you all the best in whatever you end up doing. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next reading.